why does it happen that the media and the public discourse so almost it seems very deliberately ignores this? I mean, why do they do this?
Well, in my view, Kamal Bhai, is I think that there is a bigotry of low expectations that seems to be enforced onto the diverse Muslim community in Britain. And what I mean by this is that if you focus on Islamism, these people, whether it's the media, whether it's politicians who are sympathetic to Islamists, they seem to think that if you focus on Islamism, then somehow you are focusing on Muslims and Islam, when that's clearly not the case. It's so far from the truth. Let's be. There are two caveats here, or statements of fact. Islam is a religion, whereas Islamism is a political ideology. So I always say this because I'm not going to conflate the two, and I think anyone in Bharat conflates the two, or anyone in the West conflates the two. The only people who conflate the two are the Islamists themselves. They want us to believe that Islamism is Islam and Islamists are Muslims, and of course, that's further from the truth. In terms of Islamism and Islam, they are not the same. Islamists can be Muslims, but not all Muslims are Islamists. So that's really, really important. Now, it's a bigotry of low expectations to assume, first of all, if you tackle Islamism, then Muslims are going to be attacked. Actually, no, that's not the case. When we think about some of the things that have been happening as a result of Islamists, it's Muslims who are actually pushing back against this. For example, particularly your viewers in Bharat who don't know about our de-radicalization program known as Prevent. Now, this is one strand of our counter-terrorism measure known as Channel. Now, it is designed to, as the title says, prevent people from being radicalized into extremists or being able to carry out acts of terrorism. Now, it's not only for Muslims, it's not only for Christians, it's for anyone and everyone. Anyone who is potentially able to be radicalized, Prevent is the help prevent them from that happening. But these Islamists, they want to obviously paint a picture that Prevent itself is Islamophobic. It's inherently Islamophobic. And I put Islamophobic into quotation marks, and I can come onto that later, why that's a problematic term in and of itself. But they do that because they think that if you target Islamists, then you're targeting Muslims. They want you to conflate that. And this idea gives credence that any attack that is carried out by a Muslim is in the name of Islam, then neither his religious identity nor the religion should be mentioned as a result of this. Because if you do this, then it's Muslims who will be vilified. It's Islam that will be vilified. Look, I've already said before that Islam can be critiqued, especially in the West, because we have free religion, we have freedom of speech. Muslims as a bloc, a diverse bloc, should not be critiqued, just like Hindus as a diverse bloc should not be critiqued, because you cannot create a whole group of people. If you do that, then you venture into the territory of anti-Muslim bigotry or anti-Hindu bigotry. So you don't do things like that. What you do, however, is you critique those people who seek to use the Muslim identity as a shield to protect them against any kind of scrutiny that they are subjected to as a result of any illegal or unlawful behavior that they carry out, such as extremism or terrorism or violence against Hindus in the case of Lebanon. And so it's being ignored because there is an imagined victim. We're thinking of imagined victims here. So the whole of the Muslim community will be a victim if you go and focus on Islam. And this shouldn't be the case. Now, let's say, for example, there is an issue of Hindutva extremism, and we do find that that is the case. We're not going to start saying, right, we're not going to deal with Hindutva extremism, because if we deal with Hindutva extremism, Hindus are going to be victims. How are they going to be victims? We're protecting Hindus if we are focusing on the threat of Hindu extremism. And it's the same then with Muslims. So we're protecting Muslims if we focus on the Islamist threat. But they want it to be the other way around. If we focus on the Islamist threat, then we're making Muslims into victims. That's not the case. And this is the cognitive dissonance that we're facing here in the West. And potentially you might be facing there in Bharat.
Absolutely, we do, and I think it's really mind-boggling sometimes, because it's a very clear hypocrisy. It's cognitive dissonance at play all the time, and politicians do it as well. Besides the media, of course, and I guess they have their own reasons. And here, of course, there's this whole practice of vote bank politics, because they view Muslim community as a vote bank and would like to have their support, and therefore they indulge in things like this. They brush issues completely under the carpet.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.